Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another Talk Sooty video. We're back once again talking a little bit of boxing and obviously talking about the big fight that took place this weekend. Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. 2, the rematch. And what an outcome it was. I was not expecting that one, guys. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting that one. Obviously, we did the video beforehand previewing all the fights and we did a few predictions here and there. And we did say that Liam Beefy Smith would win on decision, and I did say I wanted Eubank to win, and he did win, but I didn't think it'd happen. I thought Beefy would do the same thing without the knockout. Basically, I just thought he would get to him, get the body shots in, being the better boxer that I thought. That I still think he is, to be honest. But we're going to talk about the fight and we're going to talk about what happened. Obviously, congratulations to Chris Eubank Jr. Absolutely amazing performance, I've got to say. Completely shut the doubters out. I mean, technically, I'm a doubter. Like I said, I didn't think he was going to win. I did wanted him to win, but I didn't think he was. And there was a lot of others like me in that same situation who just thought, I think Beefy's got his number. But he showed that he can put on a performance, and what a performance it was. I mean, the output, the jab. Let's talk about the jab. We will talk about the jab in a second. I mean, outrageous. It was just pumping the jab out, and he was keeping it long, but it was smart. And I think you've got to congratulate the team there. Bomac, obviously, he's now got a bit of a situation of his own, which we are talking about in a little short I did earlier on of the day of recording this. But yeah, I think he stuck to the game plan and he was listening. A lot of people say he's not the best listener and he does what he wants, but I thought he listened very, very well in that ring and he stuck to the game plan and he got his man out of there in the 10th round. Obviously, there's questions over whether Beefy had injuries. There was ankles. I mean, that you would have seen the recording. I'll try and get it on the screen for you now. But if I can't, yeah, you would have seen them. We got the ankles. He goes over on the front ankle, and then he goes over on the back ankle. And he did come out and say he's always had problems with his ankles. But that was just a horrible sight to see. I mean, that must have been some serious pain. Really must have been. And then obviously he's come out and said that he had to lose 42 pounds in a very short space of time. And obviously, people use the word excuse, but that is a lot of weight to cut in a short period of time. And people forget that he was the one with the injury before that was the reason why it initially got rescheduled, because he had the injury. And people were quick to forget that, I think, and me included. I completely forgot about it. I just thought Beefy will do his thing. But you've got to remember he had the injury and then he's got to cut a bunch of weight. And like I say, people say excuses, but I mean, you've got to factor that in. That does affect your performance. And it looked like it affected his performance. And it was actually shown by the punch stats, which I'll get into in a sec. But it really was shown on his performance, the lack of output and the lack of movement. And he was just getting beaten up. And again, credit to Chris Eubank Jr. because I thought he boxed brilliantly. There was body shots in there. The uppercuts this time, there was no uppercuts, and then he was getting knocked out. The uppercuts were landing clean with the knockdown in round 4, which outrageous indeed. It really, really was a very nice uppercut. Walked him straight onto it, boom, went down, and he had him in a bit of trouble, and he went for the finish in that round, and he threw a lot of punches, which I thought was going to tire him out, but that engine kept throughout the whole fight. Really was. It was impressive. I mean, we know he's in good physique and good shape, but yeah, it was a very impressive performance, and the way he was able to deal with Beefy and the way he was able to just be the constant pressure and just on him at all times. It really, really was something that you got to just take your hat off, because like I say, I was not expecting that. And those numbers and the output that I was talking about is shown by the punch stats, and it really is incredible. Because if you go total punches for Liam Smith landed during the fight, it's 33. 33 of 132 thrown were landed by Liam Smith, which is a 25% accuracy, and only 8 of those shots were body shots. And then compared to Chris Eubank Jr., you've got 193 landed. Eubank landed 61 more shots than Liam Beefy Smith threw in that fight, and 51 of those were to the body compared to Liam Smith's 8. and it says he threw 580 punches in the fight, landing at a 33.3% accuracy. So he's throwing more punches, he's more accurate. No wonder Liam Smith was getting absolutely battered in that fight. No wonder. And regardless of any injuries or the weight cut, he was getting battered. And I thought it was a right stoppage, actually. There's a few people who immediately like, maybe it's got a little bit too long, but or it was called a little bit too short, should I say. But yeah, I thought it was a perfect stoppage. He was getting way too many shots. Could have been stopped a few seconds before, actually, straight after the second knockdown. But it was very, very. It just shocks me. I mean, you can tell by the way I'm speaking. It's just still, when I think about it, it was just so unexpected. Really, really, really was. But I mean, like I say, you can't just commiserations to EUBANK. It really was the way he just dealt with all the pressure. I mean, he even spoke after the fight saying, "Yeah, if I'd lost this one, it probably is over." And fair play to him. He didn't want to say anything like that during the build-up because you don't want to put that little bit of doubt going into a fight. But I think he obviously deep down he knew if he was losing that fight, and that was obviously motivation to get that win, and he did get that win. But other punching stats, I mean, I think the highest punches in a round for Liam Smith was 7. Yeah, it was 7 punches landed in round 6. Was the highest total punches for Liam Smith, and then the lowest EUBANK landed was 6, and that was in the first round. And every other round was in the double digits. The second lowest was 10, which was in round 2, and then it's 15 in round 6. They were in the 20s, nearly touching 30s in round 9 with 28 punches landed. I mean, the comparison just really does show. I mean, and then the jab the jab was just incredible. It really was from EUBANK. 11 jabs landed in round 7, 10 in round 8, 8, 8, 8, 4, 8 in round 4, 5, 9, and 10. I mean, yeah, the jab was money, the hooks were money, the uppercuts were money. Everything was just working for Chris EUBANK. The game plan was perfect, and yeah, like I say, fair play. But moving on from the fight, I've waffled on about that fight for a few minutes. We've got to talk about what's next for both. Starting for me, EUBANK. I mean, a lot of people say trilogy, let Liam rest, and yeah, let's run it back. It's 1-1. We got 2 stoppages on either, or 1 stoppage on either side, and it just makes sense. But does it make sense? Because boxing, at the end of the day, is a business, and promoters, all they care about is that. Let's be honest. And the fighters, they care about that. And let's be honest, Chris EUBANK versus Conor Benn, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that compared to a trilogy with Liam Smith. And it does make you wonder, what is Liam Smith going to be doing next? And is it maybe curtains? I mean, I have seen a quote today saying it's not going to be curtains, but it would be interesting to see who he would fight if Chris EUBANK goes on to the likes of Kell, Triple G, Conor Benn. Like we said, there's fights out there, bigger money fights than Liam Smith for Chris EUBANK that kind of take him like that. I mean, if he's really about it, he'd go and try and fight for a world title. But I think we know what his priorities are, and it's a bit of that. And fair play to him. I mean, why not? Why not try and make as much money? It's a short career, and it's a painful one. So try and make as much money out of your pain as you can. But like I said, with Liam Smith, it might be difficult for him to find another fight. I don't know where he goes. Does he go back to maybe a smaller show? Maybe not even a smaller show. Just against a smaller opponent back in Liverpool, maybe. Get the momentum back, get it, string maybe 1 or 2 wins, because you've got to remember he's 35. He can't be fighting 3, 4, 5 fights to get the EUBANK fight again, because again, EUBANK's 33. He's going to be wanting the big opportunities. So maybe you just do 1 more, and maybe you can somehow angle a way to get the trilogy, because I think he'll definitely be wanting that 3rd fight. I don't think the way he comes across, you would have thought he will be absolutely just dying on the inside, losing to Chris Eubank. And even he said that during the build up to the first and the second one. And you know, I do truly believe that he means that, to be honest, because he just comes across as that sort of person that he just thinks he's miles better than Eubank. And obviously he showed that in the first one, so he's rightful to think that. But yeah, I think that'll eat away at him, and he'll definitely want the trilogy. But we'll just have to see. I think it's a waiting game, and it's a waiting game. It really is. Maybe he does retire. Obviously, like I said, there's quotes coming out today saying he won't. But I mean, give it a bit of time, and maybe he will. But that is going to be it from me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Smash the like button if you did. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Sooty out.